warming.
Protect yourself and your family during this extreme cold snap. The Arctic air can be dangerous. Aisha's at the First Alert Safety Desk. Good morning, Aisha. You have some important reminders this morning.
Good morning, Emerson. Right, this type of cold we're having can really take a toll on a lot of us. National Weather Service says people exposed to extreme cold are susceptible to frostbite and can get hypothermia in a matter of minutes. So it is dangerous. Remember, as we take a look at this right here from NWS, areas most prone to frostbite are uncovered skin in those extremities, like your hands and feet. Hypothermia happens when your body loses heat faster than it can produce it. Everyone is at risk from the dangers of extreme cold, but babies, older adults, or anyone with a chronic illness are most vulnerable. NWS says age and certain conditions make your body less able to regulate temperature, especially on a day like today. So if you or someone you care about have to venture outside in this today, dress in layers, cover exposed skin to reduce your risk of frostbite or hypothermia. Try to seek shelter from the elements as much as possible while you're outside if you have to be. Once inside, again, change into dry clothing right away if you're wet or maybe sweating. If you suspect signs of frostbite or hypothermia, move inside to a heated location. Start warming the affected areas using warm water or body heat. NWS says do not use hot water or radiant heat like a fireplace, since affected areas can be easily burned. Redness or pain in the area of your skin might be the first sign of frostbite. So important to seek medical attention for severe frostbite. Check in on your friends, your neighbors, or loved ones today, especially if they're vulnerable to this type of cold, and protect your furry family members too by keeping them inside as much as possible. Our team